And we're live! Hello, everybody. We
Hello.
haven't been. We weren't around last week because we were lazy. Ow.
It's
And
summer.
it's summertime, so we were busy doing stuff because that's how we roll. And not to mention that Dave, is a wet blanket, and he totally just didn't want to do anything last week because he was like, "I'm tired. I can't stay awake." Dave, I'm just gonna put the camera on you. Explain yourself.
Sleep is just, it's weird, man. Who needs fucking sleep, right?
Yeah, screw sleep, man. You look at this. Sunglasses at night, man. Sunglasses at night. That's how I roll now. You can call me
Cory Hart. Cory Hart didn't invent this.
Night.
The Crafty book did.
That's right. You see, Alan brought it to our attention. We followed suit.
Fucking A. Except me, because I don't.
That's right. Mic drop. I'm out. See ya. So anyway, but this week I chose the beer.
What are we drinking
last week? And this week I picked this one. Here it is. It's the Whistler Brewing Co. It is their Grapefruit Ale. Now, the reason I picked this one is that I kind of like the label, and it's not quite a Radler, but it kind of is, I suppose. I thought Dave would like it. So,
well,
that's really how it is. So I'm gonna pop this baby out. Welcome to the first summer appearance of the Wooden Penis. Welcome. Opening this beer, which probably no, it's not twist. I thought I was. Don't you hate it when you open the ones that are actually twist tops and you don't realize it, and then it just takes like 10 years to actually.
Is this one a twist top?
Right? No, it's not. But I paused for a moment thinking it might be. So here is the beer.
Did you get 6?
It looks all golden.
It smells
I gotta take my
like
sunglasses off because I don't know.
Reddish hue.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's got like yeah. Look at that. That is
kind of looks like it's got pink grapefruit in it. Is it pink grapefruit?
It doesn't say. It could be. It could be pink grapefruit. Trailblazing, blah blah blah. Add grapefruit zest, a little coriander. It was bottled.
And 2 types of hops.
On
how do you want to drink it? It smells too good.
It does smell great, actually. I had one last week because when Dave pussed out, I drank one anyway.
Me too.
I was tempted, but I didn't.
Now, interestingly, the one that I had last week, because I kind of bought it at the last moment before we were going to do the podcast, I didn't really get a chance to refrigerate it. So when I had one last week, it was a little bit warmish. I mean, I threw it in the freezer for a few minutes, and it was a little bit cold, but not really. And I didn't really taste any kind of grapefruit. This one has been in the fridge for a lot longer, and now I do taste the grapefruit.
Definitely. It is
very refreshing.
It is quite Radlerian.
Well, it's not by alcohol content. This is a 5%. A Radler you would expect to be, probably in the neighborhood of 3.5, and that's essentially what a Radler is something that's so low alcohol that you could drink it and still go out bike riding.
That's right. And, you can never have enough bike riding in your life. Isn't that right, Dave?
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you getting down on the bike riders?
Who? Dave? Dave is always down on the bike riders. Me? No.
Me? Why? Huh?
Shut up, Dave.
Where'd you get that from?
I'm a bike rider.
Oh,
well, I'll run you down next.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really good. I'm really liking it.
I gotta say,
congratulations, Whistler Brewing Co.
Thumbs up to the beer. It is very. It's easy.
What do we know about Whistler
It's
Brewing?
smooth and easy. What do we know about them?
Yeah. How long have they been around?
Whistler?
What do they do?
They're in Whistler.
I'll tell you all about it. I'll go to their website right now. Whistler Brewing Co. creates craft beer in British Columbia. They love themselves. A little bit of history here. Whistler Brewing is not the next big thing. They're far from it. They are something or other. I don't know. They're trying to be hip here. But here, first established 1989, the Whistler Brewing Company is the originator of the BC craft brewing movement, so they claim. And today, while many craft breweries have come and gone, we are still proudly 100% BC owned and BC brewed. Huh. So they're making a pretty bold claim there. Making a pretty bold claim.
I like the bottles. The bottles are interesting. They're not stubbies, but they're not tall boys either. I mean, is this?
No, they're pretty. They're about the same size.
I mean, they look kind of small to me, actually, but they are 330 mils, which is interesting.
I think 334 mils for the tall boys. Beer
Possibly.
Bottle size. Stubbies. Oh, here we go. This is actually a website with a great image. Don't drink beer in this quantity, you'll die. Okay, right on. Where the hell? What is it actually called? There's actually a word for it. Here we go. The brown glass bottle is, on average, the amount of beer inside of this bottle is 330 milliliters. There we go. So the bottle here is shorter, contains the same amount of beer, and per bottle. And what can you do?
Now, the Grapefruit Ale has an IBU rating of 14. That's fairly low. And a gravity of 12.8.
Cool. Dave, you have failed in your mission to give us the International Beer Unit rating. So I need you to apologize to our viewers.
God damn it! And you know what? It's not on here.
What's not on here?
Oh,
it's
you
not
have
on
a
your
can.
bottle? Really?
He has a can.
How'd you get it in cans?
I went to the store and the nice man there said, "Here's some cans." I said, "Fucking great."
Are they from 1982?
I just picture him going. So you want a what? You want some cans? Here you go. You know, I mean, it is up island.
What?
So what have you guys been doing? It's been a couple weeks. What the hell have you guys been up to? I haven't heard from you at all, except for whining about starting at 9:30.
Well, what I did is I bought Shane yours and my ticket to Beer Fest.
Really? Well, I'm so glad
Coming
you brought that up.
Dave, on September the 8th.
Dave.
I didn't buy one for Dave.
Dave. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking Dave. So, Dave, Beer Fest is coming up. How's it going? Is you planning to come down and hang out with us going well? Dave. How long until the event, Alan?
Sorry, what was that?
How long until the event?
It's on Friday, September the 8th, at least the one that we're going to. Friday, September the 8th, from 4 until 9. There's also one on Saturday, September 9th, from noon to 5, but the Friday one's better. They're going to be doing things a little bit differently this year in two ways. The Friday one usually goes from 3 to 8. They're shifting it by an hour this year, so it will begin at 4 and go till 9. I think that's a really good move. Another thing they're going to do is each brewery that comes can bring 3 beers plus 1 if they want, and that plus 1 is usually a cask. They're going to have a special booth that has all the casks.
Interesting.
So the casks are, they're specially made, and once they're gone, they're gone. I mean, this is not something that's mass produced. So all the casks are going to be in one spot, called the Drake cask booth, whatever. There's going to be 8 casks set up, and it's advised that if you're interested in any of those casks, you go and get them. The beer list has been announced on a preliminary basis. Not all of the beers have been announced. The list all the time. One that might be of interest to you and I, Shane, in the cask thing, is going to be oh my god, what's the name of that? The barley wine that we always like.
The Thor's Hammer?
Thor's Hammer. There's going to be a cask of Thor's Hammer.
Really? Interesting.
Yes.
Because...
And I think I'm going to have to try that out.
Yeah, I think that is not a bad idea. So so when Dave comes down to join us, we'll have to make sure that he is treated well, with naked women to pick him up from the
airport, because I'll be flying down.
Apparently that's what I want. So, well,
I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna complain.
Okay.
Honestly, there's also going to be another cask. Some of you will remember that we did a podcast a while back where we had purchased Old Cellar Dweller from 2016.
That's right.
Where we introduced it and we said that we were going to shelve it for a year and then open it. So we're about halfway through that year now.
Nice.
But there's going to be a cask of this available.
Okay.
And I'm going to try it.
I think we should too. I think it's not a bad idea because we have not, we really should have a beer once per month that we open that's been sitting in our cellars for a little while.
See, that's the problem though. If I buy beer, it's not going to sit in my cellar. I'm shocked that this one has made it this long. It's just sitting here at my feet.
It's true. I mean, it is a risk that we will have to take. I mean, so Dave, you haven't answered the question, man. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
Question of
when you're coming down to go to the event, the one that we're all going to,
right?
That you've known about for one whole year, Dave.
Well, you knew about the last one for a whole year too, and you didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Dave's going to go to this one because last year he promised. He promised without fail that he would be coming.
He did promise.
Just saying, Dave. Just wanting to make sure that
Dave, if you don't come, you're going to wake up one morning with a horse's head in your bed next to you.
That's true. We will make that happen.
Okay, then. I'm glad neither of you knows where I live.
Oh, I know where you live.
Sort of you do. But really, I doubt you'd be able to find it.
Oh, I'm sure I'll find it, Dave. Not to worry. Not to worry. Not to worry.
Oh, I'm not worried.
And I think there's going to be like several new breweries at this at the event this year.
Right.
I'm trying to think of what they are. I think they put out a list of them. There's about 10 new breweries. There's going to be 68 booths in all.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And so like Fuggles of Warlock posted that they're doing a collaboration brew with Lighthouse Brewing in Victoria. And
nice.
That brew will be debuted at Beer Festival.
Oh, cool. That kind of excites me because that is something that we'll get to enjoy. That Dave will also get to be in present time stream, not 1985 alpha. Is that right, Dave?
So, pardon me, there's going to be 14 new breweries this year, and they include A-Frame Brewing Company, Andina Brewing Company, Backroads, Hathy, KPU, Lupolo, Mount Aerosmith, Riot Brewing, Souk Oceanside, Strathcona, Twin Sails, which is from Nanaimo, Two Wolves, White Tooth, and White Sails.
So
I've already seen bottles from.
Where's White Sails? Where's White Sails?
White Sails is in Nanaimo.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I said Twin Sails is in Nanaimo. No, White Sails is in Nanaimo.
okay.
I'm not sure where Twin Sails is from. Oh, Port Moody.
Did you say there's one called Two Dogs or?
Two Wolves.
I'm totally not laughing about that.
Well, there's another one that I've seen up at Cascadia. I think it's Trois Dogs.
Yeah, that's the one that's right down on between Shane's parents' place and my place.
Okay.
Oh right, that's right. The one, the brand new one that opened this time last year, I think. Was it?
And I believe they're going to be there, although they're not listed in the newcomers. Maybe they were there last year. I don't know.
I would hope so because I've only had their beer at their open house when they first opened, and it was okay. The IPA was really hoppy. I remember that much. So I wouldn't mind checking them out at the event because that'd actually be kind of cool.
I remember there was an IPA last year at the event, and I can't remember what brewery put it out.
I honestly don't remember a whole lot from last year.
Anyway, this IPA, it tasted nothing like an IPA. I mean, it was so dull and boring. It was it tasted like water with a few hops in it. It was really gross. I can't remember what brewery put it out though.
Maybe that's for the best.
Maybe. And this year, the Great Canadian Beer Festival celebrates their 25th year of operation. So,
yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
So for this summer, any beers that you've had that you have partaken, enjoyed, loved, hated, that's not on the show?
Well, see, this the problem is I've been looking through the list, and the list is not complete. Some of the breweries have not submitted exactly what they're bringing. I'm just kind of going through the list now while I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so Swans has from booth 14 is going to have a cask on Friday called the Lucifudge Cherry Choco Porter.
That sounds like a donut stuffed into a bottle.
It's described as a brewer's plaything.
Whoa. That just, okay. I don't know. That sounds a little disturbing, actually.
I want to try that. Otherwise, from Swans, there's the Oktoberfest Flammen beer. I don't know what that means. There's a pitch black chamomile Pilsner. Bose is going to be back. Bose is from Ontario.
Right, cool.
Let me just see here. Twin Sails is going to have, which is new, It's going to have 3 beers. One is called Dat Juice, which is an unfiltered American wheat pale ale. A Con Leche, which is a horchata-style milk stout brewed with coffee, vanilla, and cinnamon. And another beer called Dad Jokes, which is a 100% El Dorado hop double IPA.
Nice. Okay.
Moody is kind of going to have the Boss Juice. Yeah.
The Boss Juice?
Boss Juice, Lusty Chocolate Oatmeal Stout, Apricot Sunrise, Fruit Ale, Raspberry Lime IPA cask, and a Strawberry Blonde cask. Yellow Dog has not submitted what they're bringing yet. A-Frame has a Shuswap Lake IPA, a Magic Lake Porter, and a Sprout Lake Dry Hopped Pale Ale. And then we don't have descriptions from Axe and Barrel, Powell, 4 Mile, or Twa Dogs yet. Neither Granville Island or Salt Spring Island.
Okay.
So I mean, it's you know, the list is still sort of fleshing out, but I'm interested to see what there was one beer that I missed last year, and I'm kind of kicking myself over it. Shane, Red Truck, their descriptions haven't come through yet, so maybe you can go across the street there from your place and tell them to get on it. Yeah. One thing that I kind of missed last year, and I'm just looking at the Vancouver Island Brewery booth. Remember, Shane, last year they had a root beer, and we missed out on it. It was made specially for Beer Fest, and we got there too late. It was gone, and I was kind of hoping that they would make it again, but it doesn't look like it. They're going to have the British style summer ale, Victoria Lager, and 2 all new beers, which will be launching at Beer Fest.
The beer that we missed, do you recall what it was called? Like, you don't remember at all?
What it was called?
Yeah.
It was just called a root beer.
Oh, okay.
And it was from Vancouver Island Brewery, and they made it specially for Beer Fest. And once it was gone, it was gone.
That's too bad, because, you know, there was so much beer that Dave missed last year that will never come back, ever. But speaking of beer that Dave missed, did you guys hear about the Nova Scotia is having a problem trying to battle against beer coming up from the States?
No, I didn't hear about this. You tell me all about it.
Well, let me tell you that according to this article in the CTV Atlantic News.
Not the CTV Atlantic News.
I know, the Atlantic News, because apparently we don't have it out here because, you know, news is lame and fake. We have the best non-news, the most fantastic non-news place ever. No, they're talking about a beer that is basically there's a significant difference in the pricing between beer coming across the border and beer that's made locally, to the tune of, like, in some cases it sounds like it's $10 for a 2-4. So I don't know. What do you guys think of this? Should we be stopping beer from coming across the border? Should we really insist that people will buy Canadian? Should we build a wall, so to speak?
Yep.
An anti-beer can wall?
A wall of twofers.
Sure.
It's a wall of
It's actually made of twofers. It's like 25 feet tall.
From coast to coast, baby.
You know, that would be a wall I could get behind. Because you imagine how long it would take people to get through a wall? Like, we gotta break through the wall, man. Dude, we gotta drink it all. We can't just let it sit here and, you know.
We can't let it go bad.
We'll all be sitting on top of the wall, and all the Americans over here, hey, you hoser.
Actually, speaking of hosers, I saw I guess there was a fundraiser in Toronto 4 or 5 days ago. And Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas actually did.
A couple weeks ago.
Was it a couple weeks ago? And did a thing on stage.
Oh, nice.
So, but he was saying on the news, at least in the news report that I saw, that he's lost his upper register, so he can't actually do the he can't get to that high note anymore.
Oh.
So yeah, it makes me sad that Bob and Doug McKenzie can no longer hit the high notes. What if getting
old?
Yeah, it's true. Moving on from
it was actually an entire It was actually an entire SCTV reunion. And
oh, really? Yeah. Okay, cool.
It was headlined by Bob and Doug McKenzie.
I want to know if there's a video of this on YouTube. I'm sure there is.
Yes, there is.
There is? Really? You've already looked?
Yep. Now I've watched some of it.
So that's kind of awesome because I'm sad now that I haven't been able to see it. So basically, building a wall of beer will solve the problem of beer coming up into our country from the United States. However, there is something a little more positive to think about, is that there's a shark-inspired beer that has been made that has basically partnered up with the Ocean, what do they call it? The Ocean Institute, something or other. Hang on. The Ocean Tracking Network. Yeah, that's right. That's the one.
George and Gracie.
Yeah, exactly. No, the reason I actually noticed this article was that I follow some sharks on Twitter. Now,
you do?
Yeah, I do. This thing called the Ocean Tracking Network, essentially what it does is they tag sharks in the Atlantic Ocean. I'm not sure, maybe somewhere else. I only follow ones in the Atlantic. But they are, the ones that I follow are great white sharks that are traveling around the Atlantic and whatnot. And if they get to a certain depth, like not quite out of the water, but a certain depth, it's able to communicate and basically tweet out their location. So you can actually follow on a map where these sharks have gone. Which reminds me, I should open up my Twitter here and actually look for the shark that I like to follow.
He's in the building. He's in the building.
It came from inside. But yeah, but anyway, so basically, yeah, I can't find it right now. It's apparently hard. So, but essentially, yeah, these sharks are tweeting out their locations whenever they get to a certain depth, and they're able to let people know where they are.
I can imagine that you're like, when you're checking it, you have like one of those little things, like a thing, a locator thing, and you're like, you hear the beeping gets a little bit faster, and it gets a little bit faster. Game over, man! Game over!
2 meters. That's inside the pool.
We're fucked, man. We're doomed.
But yeah, so basically, yeah, this is I follow Lydia, the shark that has been traveling around for some time. Where basically she has gone all the way down to
Shane.
Yeah.
That's not a shark. That's a Filipino hooker.
She's gone down.
You do know that, right?
Trying to sound like it's actually a shark. You're breaking my cool, man. No, but anyway, so the shark was tagged and it's gone all the way down to the Bahamas, but all the way up to Halifax and back. So this shark has traveled.
Halifax.
Yay, Halifax. Fuck them. But this has been going on.
Halifax.
Hey, you want to go to Halifax?
Swim off of Halifax.
Well, hey, yeah, these sharks are everywhere. I'm trying to figure out where she is right now. She's actually almost back in the Bahamas. It's a shark.
She's a Filipino hooker.
Oh my god. So anyway, basically the whole point of the story is that this organization has partnered with a brewery that part of the proceeds of the beer sales are going to fund this project. So thank you very much to the Big Spruce Brewing Company for doing a collaboration.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? Screw this. Cancel the program. It's dumb. But basically, anyway, this brewery, by the way, is on Cape Breton, and we have not ever. I've never seen their beer out here. So hopefully at some point, maybe this will get their beer out here. Because I really want to try the Serial Killer Oatmeal Stout. Cereal as in eating it in the morning.
Right.
Kitchen Party Ale. The Ready You're Not Regatta Red Ale. Not as in. Bitter Gitter Black IPA. And You Spin Me White Round. A wheat IPA. So there you go.
You know what? I refuse to drink these just on principle.
But how could you not enjoy the Rasputin beer? The barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout. Or how about... how about the Whole 9 Yards? How about the Happily Married? Or the Tip of the Spear Spruce? Yeah.
Shane, it's a Filipino.
Oh, wait! Their final beer on their list. The Filipino Hooker. Wow. Going straight to hell on that one. Hopping over to the Chicago Tribune. This one I only picked because it's Dave. Dave, guess what?
I wrote this
real
one
men,
today.
Real men drink fruity beer.
Because it takes fucking balls to drink fruity beers, boys.
So, Dave, why do you drink fruity beer? What is your addiction to the Radler?
Well, that might be putting it a little bit strongly, but I did get a taste when I was over in Europe because you don't drink water when you're over there.
Why is that, Dave?
Beer. Because the water is shit. That's why there's beer.
Because in Soviet Russia, water drinks you.
Hey, Alan. That's a Filipino hooker. But the whole gist of this article is basically trying to say to people that if they do drink beer that it has a fruit base of some sort, that they shouldn't feel ashamed of drinking it, because really, apparently the only downfall is that if you enjoy a refreshing apricot ale, John Wayne will tip his Stetson, roll in his grave, and slap down a silver dollar because he'll want to have one too. Just don't call him Shady Panties. I don't know why that's a
honestly
thing.
I mean, a Radler is not something that I would have just to have. But if I was going out on a long bike ride with some friends or something that was destination oriented, and we were going to celebrate with a beer at the end,
right,
when we reach the destination, I would definitely take a Radler, because then I got to get on my bike and I got to go back, right? And that can be hard if you've got a belly full of beer and you're even just a little bit buzzed. It is so hard. So from that point of view, I would be very interested in a Radler for that purpose only.
Okay, I can see that. I can totally see that.
And that explains the popularity of it in Netherlands, because everybody rides bikes over there.
I mean,
this is true.
If you do the grouse grind, I know, Shane, you've done the grouse grind. I haven't. This is something I'd like to do. But when you get to the top, you can celebrate with a beer, right?
Right. Which I do.
Which you've done. Would a Radler be better than, say, something that's really heavy? And
I suppose, yeah. I could agree with that. Yeah.
it's more refreshing than it is about getting a buzz, you know?
Mm.
I think it depends on how. I mean, the gross grind is brutal, especially when you're a guy like me that's kind of short, you know, and like Dave. Because sometimes, but as you get to the top, there are some stairs there that I swear are like up to your chin, and you have to like get your leg up, and it's amazing. But yeah, I mean, it's a Radler is definitely something that would be enjoyable when you're up there because you know it is a little bit of fruit, a little bit of you know beer in there, sort of, because you know it's not really beer.
Not really, no.
But yeah, it is something. Did they sell it up there? No, not the last time I was up there, which was just last year before. So
What did they sell?
I think Granville Island. I think. I don't recall. Locke went with me, and all he delivered was beer, a lot of it. So, because he was like, "I'm out. I'm going to get some more." We didn't have to drive home, so it was good. And to finish off the news this week, and I just saw this on the news last night, beer toss incident was more than just a weak moment. The guy that threw the beer at the outfielder at that Blue Jays and
Yep.
I remember hearing about him.
Who was the other? What was the other team?
Orioles.
Baltimore Orioles.
The Baltimore
So
Orioles.
it was an away game for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No. No. It was a home game for the Toronto Blue Jays, and the visiting team was the Baltimore Orioles, and that was in the wild card game last year.
Thank you. So essentially, he got community service, and basically, he got slapped on the wrist. I think mainly because, A, it was dumb, but two, he basically he lost his job. He's working as a janitor now, kind of thing, because of the online world. So there you go. So what is your thought on this, Alan? Since you're the far more diligent baseball watching guy.
Well, I mean, definitely what he did was bad. I remember watching that, and I mean, it was dangerous. I mean, he could have caused some serious harm to that ball player. And further to that, I mean, there was a lot of racial obscenities shouted towards the outfielders. I can't remember the name of the fielder that almost had the beer bottle sent his way, but Adam Jones, who is a very gifted African American baseball player. He had racial slurs shouted at him at the same time as all that, and it was a real black mark on the Toronto Blue Jays organization. As far as the public shaming and how it affected that guy, I mean, given his job as a sports writer, I think he should have lost his job over it. I think as a sports writer, he should know better than to behave that way. But other than that, I mean, I think the public needs to stay out of it. Pardon?
Where is this guy from? I gotta know this.
The which?
The fellow that did this beer slinging. Where was he from?
Toronto. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, he was a sports writer.
Good Christ.
Like credentialed. He wasn't on shift though. He was there as a fan watching the game, but he would normally, he'd be able to use his press credentials to gain access to, the park and watch the games, and that wasn't the case in this particular instance. But
is it just me, or have I heard?
Yeah, I mean,
if their fans are typically a little, off, shall we say? Present company accepted, of course.
I guess so. I mean, it was a really emotionally charged game. It was very intense. baseball playoffs. I mean, Canadians are famous for saying hockey playoffs are intense. Nothing like baseball playoffs. Baseball playoffs are so much more intense, and it's easy to sort of like to lose yourself in that kind of fantasy world, I guess. And that's what happened to this guy. Trying to affect the play on the field. He threw a beer bottle and he shouldn't have done it. Could have caused some serious harm. But he's not the first and last. He's not the first person to throw a beer bottle onto the field, and he won't be the last. And I question whether the people who have come after him or the people who will come after are going to receive the same punishment. And that's all I got to say about that. Would you like a chocolate?
I would love a chocolate.
My mama always said that life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. I'm gonna shut up now.
Well, that's all I got to say this week. You have to close out on.
She was a Filipino hooker.
Oh wait, yeah, right. Sorry. What, Alan? What? Have you guys checked out jiftip.com yet?
What?
jiftip.com. It's really kind of awesome. You should check it out because it's so ridiculous. I put it in the comments section. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But it's really for you, Dave. It's really for you, man.
Nice.
Is it all right?
All right, I think it's my pick for next week, so I'll pick something.
Your pick for next week. So awesome! Thank everyone for watching, and it's summertime. Relax, don't stay at home. Watch us. Watch us in the fall, because
drink beer.
This episode will still be here. Yeah, and drink beer.
Yeah.
And this episode has been brought to you by Whistler.
Whistler Brewing Co. Grapefruit Ale.